Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever felt that kind of weird tension between the glowing screens that basically dictate our workday and the deeply human interactions that actually make work meaningful, well, you definitely aren't alone. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating piece of source material called the digital pulse, and we're going to discover a pretty profound theme here. Technology is the tool, but human talent is the touch. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap. We'll be looking at the changing nature of work, how tech shapes organizational behavior, the talent management lifecycle, engagement and growth, and finally, how to harmonize technology and talent.
To really ground our exploration today, listen to this observation from our source material. A character named Mira notes, "I've been thinking about how technology changes us. Not just how we work, but how we relate, decide, and even feel." I mean, that perfectly frames our entire discussion, doesn't it? We aren't just talking about software updates or buying new hardware here. We're talking about the very fabric of the human experience in the modern workplace.
Chapter 1, The Changing Nature of Work. We really need to understand the fundamental shift happening right now in our daily environments. Okay, picture Mira's scratched old mobile phone from her college days. It's functional, straightforward, gets the job done. Now, contrast that with the modern tech startup job description that Arav brings in. It's like night and day. The modern job demands so much more than just the hard, functional skills represented by that old phone. Today, talent is fundamentally about adaptability, empathy, and continuous learning. It's a whole new ballgame.
Chapter 2, Technology Shaping Organizational Behavior. It's time to look at how digital platforms completely change the rhythms and relationships of a company.
Now, what's really interesting about this duality is how our digital tools pull us in opposite directions. On one hand, we gain absolutely incredible speed and efficiency, right? Asynchronous updates, checklists, firing off quick Slack messages. But on the other hand, we sacrifice human nuance. Mira notes how she missed the tone of voice, the pauses, the eye contact, just the warmth of a simple hallway conversation. As the text brilliantly puts it, technology compresses time, but it stretches emotion.
And these tools are literally restructuring our organizations from the inside out. Automation wipes out layers of management, while remote work flattens hierarchies. Suddenly, you have a day-one intern directly messaging the CEO, which is super empowering for sure, but it can also create some pretty overwhelming communication dynamics. Virtual teams offer amazing flexibility, but they face real friction. Think time zone headaches, cultural misunderstandings, and just a lack of informal bonding. Coordination gets really tough until people finally manage to connect on a real human level.
And this structural shift, it extends right into how we hire, with AI screening resumes and trying to predict performance. But we have to pause and ask ourselves, does AI actually understand nuance? Can a machine truly sense a candidate's potential beyond just scraping for keywords? Cold efficiency is great for processing data, but it has severe limitations when we're talking about evaluating real human potential.
Which brings us to a really sensitive area, employee monitoring. Sure, these tools can genuinely help identify when an employee is on the verge of burnout, but man, they can also feel incredibly invasive. Remember this, trust is fragile. Technology must serve it, not strain it. If we're using digital tools to constantly hover over employees, we completely break the very trust required for them to thrive in the first place.
And before we leave the topic of tech, we absolutely must acknowledge the digital divide. E-learning and remote collaboration only work if everyone has equitable access. True inclusivity isn't just some corporate buzzword to throw around. It means ensuring participation isn't just limited to those sitting at home with the newest devices and the absolute fastest Wi-Fi.
Chapter 3, The Talent Management Lifecycle. We're shifting the narrative here from cold tools to the warm human element of the workplace.
So, what exactly is talent management? Put simply, it's the strategic process of attracting, developing, retaining, and deploying people. But more importantly, it is not just some administrative HR function, it's a profound act of leadership and stewardship. As Mira says, talent isn't just what people bring on their first day, it is what they become under your guidance.
Let's move to and see how this builds across an employee's journey through 5 sequential steps. We start with planning to anticipate needs, acquisition to find the right people, onboarding for integration, followed by learning and development, and finally, performance management.
Let's look at 3 of these stages through a more human lens. In acquisition, fit matters just as much as qualifications. It's like a manager asking Mira about her favorite book just to learn how she thinks. In onboarding, it's all about cultural initiation. Arav actually recalls feeling completely invisible his first week because no one bothered to explain the culture to him.
And in performance, it's about two-way feedback, evaluations that are frequent, specific, kind, and totally reciprocal.
Chapter 4: Engagement, Retention, and Growth. So how do we actually keep this workforce motivated over the long haul? Well, it comes down to deep human drivers. Succession planning requires assessing true readiness and valuing diversity. Engagement isn't about forced office perks, like free pizza or ping pong tables in the break room. It's fueled by real purpose and having a voice. And retention? People stay because of meaningful relationships and continuous growth. The rule here is incredibly simple. If they stop learning, they leave. Literally.
Chapter 5: Harmonizing Technology and Talent. It's time to finally bring the two tracks of our explainer together.
When we successfully harmonize these elements, we create what's called talent ecosystems. Thanks to digital platforms, organizations are no longer these closed, rigid boxes. Instead, they transform into open gardens, dynamic, interconnected networks made up of full-time employees, freelancers, alumni, and partners, all seamlessly working together. It's a beautiful concept.
But even in an open garden supported by the absolute best technology out there, your employer branding still comes down to human emotion. It isn't just a slick marketing campaign. It is your culture. As Mira perfectly puts it, employer branding is exactly how people feel on a Monday morning. Technology might run the logistics of your company, but culture entirely dictates how that Monday morning feels when people log on or walk through the office door.
So the crucial point is this: technology is the tool. Talent is the touch. Artificial intelligence can identify skill gaps and make your operations lightning fast, sure, but it absolutely must amplify our humanity, not replace it. The best managers know they have to hold both efficiency and care simultaneously. To wrap up, I want to leave you with these provocative questions to reflect on long after this explainer ends. Take a hard look at your own digital workplace. How does technology actively shape your work right now? What kind of talent do you want in this rapidly evolving landscape? And most importantly, how will you balance ruthless efficiency with deep human empathy? Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep exploring.